You are warmly welcome to Berut Counselling Service Center, where we touch lives. I am Esther Ruth Valwa, your host, sharing with you on the elements of effective communication. Say it right, flavor your communication. Let us recap on what we dealt with on the elements of effective communication in our previous episodes. Our first element was thoughtful communication. The second element was active listening. And today we are dealing with the third and fourth elements, which are empathy and understanding. These two elements stress the idea that we should always seek to understand the other person's perspective and show empathy towards their feelings and experiences. 1 Peter chapter 3 verses 8 to 9 says that, to sum it up, all of you be harmonious, sympathetic, kind-hearted, humble in spirit, not returning evil for evil, or insult for an insult, but giving a blessing instead. For you were called for the very purpose that you might inherit a blessing. What does Peter teach us in this text? First and foremost, he is telling us that in our relationship with one another, we should strive for unity, compassion, and forgiveness. This is because families are split, marriages are broken, relationships are messed up. So we should strive for unity, compassion, and forgiveness. Violence is amongst us. There is no compassion at all. There is no forgiveness. We always need to understand the other person's perspective if we are to stay together, if we are to worship God. We need to express empathy. Our God is full of compassion and empathy. We should be attentive to people's feelings. People hurting. We need to be attentive. The second lesson that Peter teaches us is to actively and intentionally bless the other person, even when we are faced with difficult situations, even when there is a lot of negativity and hardships. We need to express kindness. We need to choose to be forgiving. We need to choose to help people. We need to be intentional in order to build up our relationships. The two practical aspects dealt with in the first series were as follows. Our relationships with one another must be that which pleases God. We should build our relationships with one another through effective communication. And today, we are dealing with our behavior and how our lifestyle must communicate the gospel to the other person. And therefore, we must display our faith. We must live in a manner that expresses to other people that we are people of faith, because our interactions with others should be tangible. They should manifest all our commitment to Christ. We learn from 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 2 to 3, that we ourselves are letters. We are the letter that people can read and understand the gospel. They can understand that God is love. They can understand that God is forgiving. We learn that Christ is the one who died for us, and for his sake, we are also forgiven. So we need to forgive other people. Our heart should reflect God's love. And since we are letters, our lives must communicate Christ to the world. In our communications, we must always choose to be respectful. So the words we use must be respectful. Words which can prevent unnecessary disputes and create harmony. We should never use words that are going to bring pain. Fire does not quench fire. We should always be careful what we are about to communicate. We should not be people who overlook timing. Sometimes it might be that we do not have to wait, but other times we have to wait. So we have to bear that in mind, that time is important. If we have to wait until a certain point, then we wait. But if we have to communicate immediately, then we need to choose the right words to communicate something that we do not have to necessarily hurt the one who is receiving it. In our homes, our workplaces, in our places of worship, in the community where we live, we need to create a safe environment for people to be comfortable to communicate whatever they want, because they are communicating their feelings. Let us not judge them. Let us create a conducive environment that they are not judged, they are free to speak out their mind. And as a principle, they ought to bear respect for each other. And reaching that level, we will be practicing effective communication with one another in relationship to worshiping God. The communication will put us in a position of relationship with each other, which facilitates appropriate worship. We therefore will be able to glorify God, to delight in Him, in His presence, because we are not guilty of anything. We will be able to serve Him with other people, and that will be drawing us closer to God and God closer to us. It will all be evident that even the non-believers will get to know that we are in the presence of God. Let me get us a point to ponder. How has your relationship been with the people in your family? How is your relationship with your husband, with your wife, with your siblings, with your relatives, with the people in the same community, at your workplace? How is your relationship with other people? As we ponder on that question, let us join the move to straighten relationships, to better our communication skills, and to be effective communicators. Because we are not an island. We are in a diverse community. We live with other people. We need to understand them. We need to listen to them. We need to express empathy and understanding. People are hurting and they need us and we need them. I have been Esther Ruth Valwa, your host at Berut Counselling Service Center. Stay blessed.